Hello, this is the Dave's Gone By Facebook radio program. Hello.
Hello, this is NELLIE McKAY calling for Rabbi Sol.
Oh, hello. Shalom, NELLIE McKAY. Oh, God, welcome. You're an hour late, but we're thrilled to have you in the neighborhood. How are you doing?
I know I'm an hour late. I so apologize. I so apologize. I don't know how it didn't come up for me on my thingamabob. I thought it would. It didn't. I'm sorry. Is it possible to still talk now?
Yeah. Well, we can. I'm here all day, ladies and gentlemen. But thank goodness, hooray! We have NELLIE McKAY on the telephone with us. She's an hour late, which in Jewish terms is only about 5 minutes late because it's a Jewish 10:30, ladies and gentlemen. But NELLIE McKAY is not Jewish. She is, however, a singer, a songwriter, a delightful presence, and you can all go see her on, wait, let me get my paperwork back here. Where the hell is it? Okay, it's on, where is it? In Your Face, New York, on Thursday, May 16th. So it's not this Thursday, I have a week or two, at Merkin Concert Hall on West 67th Street. And In Your Face, New York is kind of a variety. Well, NELLIE, why don't you explain it to our listeners?
Oh, boy. I guess it's a kind of New York-based show, and they bring together a lot of people. This is going to be an all-women show, so it's going to be tough because women are tough.
Well, wait a minute. I thought Jay Lenhart was in there. He's definitely not a woman.
Well, maybe I haven't talked to him in a while.
Oh, this is going to be a fun interview, I can tell. So are you ready? Because I didn't even get, let me do a proper introduction for you. This woman has 7 albums out. Her first one came out when she was 19. It was on Columbia Records. Let's see, New York Magazine, and this was actually a compliment. They said she was like Cole Porter with a case of Tourette's. But she was also called, you probably remember that line, sultry. I mean, when you first read that line, what did you think?
I don't remember even. By then, I may have stopped reading things wisely.
Wisely, yeah.
But now it's very funny.
Well, they also called her sultry and witty and poppy and jazzy and all sorts of really, really good things. And you can see for yourself. I'm sorry?
Well, yeah, we'll try to mix it up for sure. I like all kinds of music, so why not make all kinds of music?
What you have done, like Get Away From Me was your first album, a double album, which you basically had to rally and beg Columbia Records to release her debut as a double album. Nowadays, in the CD era, it wouldn't be a big deal. You would put 75 minutes of music on one disc. Nobody would have argued. But you went to bat for that record, yes?
Yeah, but when you're young, you have all this confidence and chutzpah, and you just kind of, the world truly is your oyster, and you think you really got it pegged. And then as you get older, I think it makes sense that you stop making things really. There's this famous little couplet about an owl. As the owl gets older, he grows more silent. And so when people say, "Have you written anything?" I mean, I kind of think, well, I'm like an owl. I'm just growing more and more silent and disappearing into my tree trunk until you can only see my eyes, and then they'll disappear.
Well, I certainly hope not. I mean, there are people who are going to be disappointed that you haven't written new songs for your last 2 albums, even though they've gotten wonderful reviews. You did a jazz album, an album of pop covers. There was a Doris Day album a little while back. But is there new music, your own music bubbling?
Oh, yeah, we're hoping that the next one will have probably, at least a few, probably at least half originals, and maybe a few more. And that should be out in the early part of next year, as early as possible. I'd like it.
So what are some of the songs and kinds of songs that you'll be doing in Your Face, New York on May 16th?
Yeah, well, there's the In Your Face theme, so they want me to sing that. And then they want me to do a parody of Mac the Knife, which I haven't written yet, but I'll try to work on that. I think I'm doing a duet with Wallace Chass and another lady. Her name might be Katie. I have to look at it. But then I guess I Want to Get Married with the Jay Lenhart band, and they wanted a song called Mother of Pearl, so I'll probably do that, which I think leaves just one song for me to figure out. Oh, but we're also doing Rita McMahon of the Wild Birds Fund is going to give a wonderful presentation on the need for legislation to put in bird-safe glass, because hundreds of thousands of birds get killed each year flying into the reflective glass and all these skyscrapers that keep going up. So she's going to give a presentation, and I am hopefully going to sing Blackbird with it. So, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, or maybe just give all the birds little eyeglasses, because I think if they weren't so nearsighted, they wouldn't be smashing into.
Or a compass, something.
Yeah.
Doppler, yeah.
Because actually, as bad as birds slamming into wind, I also want them to see jet propellers and those things where they all get sucked into jet engines and then kill people. So it'd be nice if they saw better.
Oh no, that's awful. No, it's terrible how we mess with the environment and how, I don't know, we're all so globalized now, and does it make the world any better whether it's we get there physically by an airplane or we are, we're online and, we're arguing with someone, 5,000 miles away. I mean, I don't know that these things are improvements. It's nice to be at home.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Have you toured internationally? Have you played in other countries?
I have, so it's lovely to travel, but I got a dog, so.
Yeah.
I'm quite, there's a phrase someone gave to me once that talks about how, in a way, you're most free, because it's the one place where you can kind of hopefully dictate your own tastes and your own living environment and live by your own rules. And that's really true. I really appreciate not having to leave the house.
Oh, I get that too, but when you do, at least you can get on a place, you get on a winged thing, and a couple of hours later you get into another country. You don't have to take a steamship or swim. So there is something to be said for technology and the modernizing and being able to have an email argument or messaging someone.
Do you travel much?
Basically Israel and back. I try and go once a week.
Are you serious?
No, of course I'm not serious. I'm not serious about anything. I'm not even a rabbi. I play one on TV. But if I could, I would go to Israel every week, twice on holidays.
You like swimming or?
No, but I'm just saying if we didn't have the modern conveniences of airplanes and boats that, yes, are killing the environment and, yes, are doing all sorts, but then if you wanted to get to England, you have a very, very, very long swim. That's basically what I'm so there's a balance, as you say.
Right. But I'm just saying, why would you pick Israel? Because of the beach?
You do know you're talking to a rabbi, right?
Yeah, but I would think even rabbis want to go new places.
Well, Ipanema, I would definitely go there. I've been to Detroit. Wouldn't necessarily go back. And Aruba's okay. So, but Israel, there's a wall there. I can leave notes. I can read other people's notes. It's interesting. And then I like falafel. So what's your favorite place that isn't in America? Where have you been that you like the most?
Oh boy, to travel? I haven't even been that many places. They're very sweet in Japan, because of, there's a cultural thing where people are very friendly and they smile a lot and they agree a lot. And in America, if you do that too much, you're kind of, I think you're considered, in quotes, uncool. But there, I felt I kind of fit in with that culture, because I like to smile and nod and so maybe I'm secretly Japanese.
You could be turning Japanese. You could be turning Japanese. I really think so. But as a Jew, I'm never smiling. I always complain. So that's just me. Plus you've got that incredible smile. It's like you have almost extra teeth in there. So you can get away. A pretty young thing like you can get away with smiling in a way that other people will just get beaten to death. So.
Oh, well, that's not kind to beat, to oppress. Yes.
Yeah, let me ask you though. You brought up Mac the Knife that she'll be singing most likely on May 16th at the In Your Face New York at Merkin Hall, which brings us to the one Broadway show that you were in, the Three Penny Opera. What are your memories of doing that? Because it had Cyndi Lauper in it, it had Eartha Kitt and Alan Cumming. You got to have some stories, backstage or offstage, of doing that show.
Yeah, backstage or offstage, yeah, I mean, wow, gee, someone I really miss, his name was Ralph, and he was the maintenance man at the theater on Broadway at Studio 54, and he has unfortunately died, but boy did I love him. He was probably my favorite. We used to get a drink between matinees and evenings, and he kind of embodied the whole spirit of the Three Penny Opera, even though he wasn't in it. I really adored him. So of course it's great hearing people sing and perform. But I love. There was another woman named Stella who was an usher, and she was always such a sweetheart when my mom would come see the show. So I think those are the people I remember most.
Wow, not the answer. Maybe that is the kind of answer we would expect from a NELLIE McKAY, that you're dealing with all these, in some cases, superstars. Well, but that you remember the usher and the nice people who are behind the scenes. I think that's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, just lovely. Because I mean, I think sometimes if you get someone's power, any person, and this can be ushers, they can get kind of pushy about it.
Oh, yeah.
If there's a row of empty seats, they won't let you sit where you want. You have to sit right next to the other person, and then just kind of sneak over to give each other some space during this course of the show. But she wasn't like that. It's nice when people are nice. I love nice people.
Oh my God, that's like a Joe Franklin quote. Literally, it's nice to be nice, And
yeah.
I'm not kidding. That is literally a quote from Joe Franklin. Hey, speaking of really great people, though, you were off Broadway a few years back when the people who did Full Moon, Bill Irwin and David Shiner, two incredibly brilliant theater people. What did you learn?
Actually, it was Old Hats.
Old Hats. I'm sorry. Yes, they took some of the old sketches they were doing in Full Moon and added some new ones and some digital-oriented ones to create Old Hats. And you were like the musical in between things while they were setting up the next skit. What did you learn from watching these geniuses really do theater?
Oh my! Well, they take their work very seriously, and they always warm up. They really they go through their paces before the show. So that's a very smart thing to do. I still don't do it, but I should. and yeah, let's see. I don't know. They're very well, the audience interaction. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like making people laugh. That was the most delightful part of each day.
And you have a certain rapport with audiences as well, but you also try to, everything you do has usually some kind of political message involved. I was going
to say, when you said, where would I like to go? I mean, I would like to go to Gaza. I would like to go, that side of things. But I don't think, there's no, I've never got, I don't know if for instance, I know there are places to play in Israel. I don't know that anyone really goes to Gaza or the Palestinian territories to play, and I think it can be quite difficult to go there. But that is someplace that I would like to. Again, it's hard because I have a dog.
Well, yeah, someone on your musical level, you can probably find hotels where you can bring a dog. It's just, how old is your dog?
Well, she's getting up there, and she's a little disabled, so I've traveled with her so much. She gets very fed up.
No, I believe me, the host of this program, the producer Dave, has an old dog, and
oh, really? And how does he travel with her or him?
Well, almost never. They travel to get to New York for a while, but other than that, there's a ton of traveling that the family hasn't done because the dog is old and they can't leave him alone. And,
yeah. No, I mean it is. But on the other hand, I mean dogs can love to travel. It's just she wants to get out of the car.
Well, no,
her idea of fun. I mean, it's like Woody Allen says, he can't stand living in the country because there's no place to walk after dinner. I mean, my idea of fun, is museums and libraries and, maybe going in a kind of speakeasy and having a drink. And her idea is national park. So there's always a rub.
So let me ask you also, we're talking, by the way, to NELLIE McKAY, the singer, the songwriter, but we haven't even mentioned, first of all, her website, NELLIEMcKay.com, and her most recent CD is about 2 years old now. It's called Sister Orchid, but we're especially pushing her Thursday, May 16th concert, going to be at Merkin Hall.
But Rabbi, it's only, it's not even a year old yet.
Oh, Sister Orchid came out in 2018?
That's right, in May. It'll be after the show. It came out May 18th.
Oh, sorry. Time goes in a different way for me. I just, as a Jew, I'm always late and I'm always getting my times mixed up. But let me ask you, why, since you cover a lot of artists and you grew up with a whole big eclectic music thing, why did you specifically hone in on Doris Day when you did that album?
Doris Day was my A&R Mitchell Cohen suggested doing Doris, and it was a good idea. I mean, obviously a lot of people, have cherished memories of her and enjoyed her movies. And she had such a recording career. My goodness, back then they put out 3 albums a year. Everybody. I'm so jealous of that. Well, I mean, even I came at the tail end of the music business before the internet took over and kind of crushed it. And even then, already it was becoming, you promote an album for 2 years. I hate it. I want to put out 5 a year,
Well, if you had a home studio, you kind of could. If you didn't have to press actual CDs. If you were just going right on iTunes, nothing's really stopping you, especially if you just have a little core group of a trio or something, no?
Well, you're right. You should come live with me and make me do things. I think we'd get a lot done.
I think my darling wife, Miriam Libby, would not quite agree to that. But, if we could bring our 21 and a half children, we'll talk.
Oh, my goodness. You've been busy.
Oh, well, yeah. Perhaps busier than you making music. So let me also ask, though, and just people that you know, for example, the producer for your first album, a fellow named Geoff Emerick. This man worked with the Beatles. He also produced Elvis Costello's Imperial Bedroom. What was he like, and what did you learn from him?
Oh, Geoff. I mean, I can't believe he's not on the earth now. Although I do think in some way, he's still with us. Geoff, he was such a personality, and he had his ways about him, he talked like this, and he was always, he drove like that. He drove like Truth is the Cat on Saturday Night Live. So he had, he just had ears. I called him big ears, and he called me Naughty from the Naughty books. But, we had such a good time together, and I'm so glad we were able to record 2 albums, and we recorded a version of Yellow Submarine. I'm very proud of with Bentley Phillips, the great singer-songwriter.
From Buffalo. Yeah.
I'm just so glad we had that time, and his spirit lives on. But I like to be united. I believe in Judaism. There isn't a belief in heaven. What's wrong? Why do you go to that?
Well, basically, for Jews, Miami is the heaven that we all go to.
If I could see Jeff again in Miami.
Yeah, you'll see all your old friends at some point. You thought they were dead, but really they just have a condo on the beach. That's kind of the way it works.
Oh, perfect.
Now, when you do have, generally, even though you are strong politically, and you get angry about certain things, but you have a light and bubbly personality, which is weird considering that you had a pretty rough childhood, unless I'm mistaken. I mean, you were mugged when you were, what?
But the thing with pro people is you get swagger. It's once you got something that you kind of lose it. But when you're young and a punk, I think in a way the less you have, it helps. I was talking to a friend about this because, he's all, I don't know, I wasn't expecting him to say this, but I think there's truth to it. That it's just that when you're middle class, there's constant keeping up with the Joneses, and nobody really relaxes, and you have to kind of keep this artifice up, and people are dissatisfied even though they have something. So I'm quite lucky, that I grew up. I feel so lucky that I grew up without money. Although I sure would like them more now. but I just think I've often thought if I had a kid, we would either genuinely not have money, or if I do accumulate some money, maybe I could pretend not to have money, because that's the best childhood by far.
Do you think you'll ever want children at some point? I don't know what your situation is maritally or cohabitationally.
Well, since I was raised, largely by a single mother, I think that's a great setup. So I'm not too worried about a guy, really. It's just, I guess it's more, I would like money for help, because I was also very lucky when my mom got to stay at home, but when she didn't, that was rough, because, people should be able to do what they want to do, and they shouldn't be forced to work some shit job instead of, is that okay to say?
Yeah, you've already said it, so even if it weren't, but it's fine. I say shit, I say fuck, I say tushy, I use them all.
But people shouldn't be forced to work that instead of doing the most important job in the world. I mean, that's guys as well as women, so yeah, I mean, but just once in a while, maybe you need a little help. But I love being at home with my mom. And the thing with a kid, and I know I sound naive, but I think it must be, in some ways, easier than a dog, because you can put a kid in front of a movie. My dog doesn't watch movies, so I constantly feel her boredom. But with a kid, they could just be like me and watch The Wizard of Oz 5,000 times a day. It's
true. I mean, it is a babysitter, and even a child you can take to the basement, chain them to the radiator. Eventually, they'll just be quiet. They'll whimper, but they're not going to bark. So that does make children easier, also. I'm teasing.
That's right. And they won't remember it. No one remembers back that far.
But see, here's where people will look at someone like you and know that you're a member of PETA. And you'll make jokes about torturing humans, and that's okay. But, oh, my God, a joke about an animal. Do you value animals? I'm not saying this to be reductionist, but do you value animals over people on some level?
Well, they do us harm in the world. I mean, the cruelty of Mother Nature, it's much more instinctual. It's not about money. It's not gratuitous, mostly, except for cats. And what we do is so, so much, it's so planned and sadistic. It's not like you raise an animal and at the end of its life you kill it and eat it. It's craven. It's wasteful. It's just completely indefensible. Factory farms and animal experiments. I mean, they have no voice. So the thing is, when it's as a society, overwhelmingly people think it's wrong to be cruel to children in any instance. But with animals, you put someone in a lab coat, or you do it, you decide that they are food and not a friend, and you can do anything you want to them. So, I mean, I think that's why those jokes might pinch more, because as a society we still have so much longer to go with non-human animals.
Yeah. I mean, I think eyeshadow should be tested on little children instead of bunnies. I mean, I've always felt like that. So did you make the...
I'm getting a picture of a CGI mouse dressed as RuPaul. I will survive.
There's an image I won't want in my head.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask, when did you make that ethical? Were you a child and said, "Oh, I'm not going to eat meat," or did you stop eating at a certain point, or was your mom veggie, or what?
Yeah, well, kids. I mean, kids have a natural empathy with animals, and they say, you know, and they identify with animals through children's books and cartoons, and then they're told, you know, they're mindful into going along with their torture and oppression. But a kid's mind says, this is wrong, so I'm not going to do it. And the comedian Lee Camp, who has a show called The Doctor Tonight, if you look up something like Lee Camp Vegan on YouTube, it comes up. He does about this 15-minute special on it, and it shows kids' reactions to eating meat, and it's quite well done. But yeah, I mean, you just know, and I was lucky enough to have a mother who read Animal Liberation by Peter Singer, and so you know, that she put off reading it because she had a feeling it would change her life, and it did. But
she had one last cheeseburger, then she read the book and said, "Okay, no more. That's it. From now on, tofu."
Actually, that was me in school. I was going to waffle, but she was always quite stalwart. But you know, one of the greatest thinkers and writers, I think, is Isaac Bashevis Singer, and animal rights is a big issue, and he, you know, it wasn't mentioned in his New York Times obituary, and it wasn't mentioned in Dick Gregory's obituary. It's another big issue for Dick Gregory. But let me just find this. I just put this out there because Singer was so incredible, and he has this quote that is from Enemies, A Love Story, and he described, here we go, Herman, his character. He says, as often as Herman had witnessed the slaughter of animals and fish, he had always the same thought. In their behavior towards creatures, all men were Nazis. The smugness with which man could do with other species as he pleased exemplified the most extreme racist theory, the principle that might is right. I just love that. I sometimes I use that in shows. I mean, I just think, you know, he connects it because he's seen the horror towards people, and he sees the horror towards animals, and he says, we don't have to pick either or, we're all in this together.
Well, your mom, whom you mentioned, sounds really special, and you collaborated with her musically on a bunch of things. A, is she still, God willing, alive and well? And B, do you still collaborate and work with her?
Are you moving around a little, Rabbi?
Yeah, sorry, this is, I'm sorry, your mom. Aren't you still, is she...
You said she seems special, and then you kind of broke up.
Oh, is she still A, alive and well? And B, do you still...
Yes, not good.
Mazel.
She's the one who woke me up.
Oh, she woke you. Wait, it's 10:30. Where are you? Are you in New York?
I am. I'm in Pennsylvania, but I'm on the East Coast, and I'm that late a sleeper that I missed the 10:30. Somehow the alarm didn't go off.
Okay, how late? What were you doing last night that you slept until 11 o'clock in the morning?
Well, there was a thunderstorm last night, and my dog was barking a little bit. But yeah, I agree. There's no excuse.
No, you are forgiven because you're you. But let me also ask, though, do you still collaborate with your mama?
Who would I like to collaborate with?
Do you still, you've done collaborations musically with your mother?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, she's my most frequent co-producer, and yeah, I mean, she just knows things, you know. I mean, if yeah, I have some pretty bad taste a lot of the time, or just kind of no taste. I'm just kind of a zombie. I don't know what to do, and so yeah.
Well, here's the deal then. You, for a while, were very, very angry at Columbia Records between the first and the second album, and you had issues with them and stuff. Do you now, on some level, miss the major labels, quote unquote, that era?
I miss their money. I miss their crowd. They get you on TV. But yeah, you know, it's fine. But you know, I mean, at the time, I don't even know. You know, it made a lot less impact on my life than I think. I think people who tend to cover music, they tend to be on some level careerists. So they take whatever happens in your career very seriously. But in my own life, the career has always been a little bit peripheral to life. So I don't especially remember, I guess, sometimes you get upset or something, but I mean, I don't know, you remember other moments about life. So, yeah.
Well, thank God even though you say it'd be nice to have a bit more money, you don't have to have a day job. You can be a performer, a songwriter, a singing concert person, and live. Maybe you don't have a mansion, maybe it's not Hollywood money, but you don't have to tempt.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that I probably should have a day job, but I just don't. I mean, largely because of my baby, but I hope we'll keep the boat afloat. I hope we'll keep going. It's lovely to travel. I just traveled in a new place in Kentucky, Newport, and then I went to Kalamazoo in Michigan, and I went up to the northernmost tip of Michigan, or so I thought. I think maybe even more. But it's like exploring the Wild West. It's a new frontier. So that's always exciting.
Now, let me ask you a question, since we're going to be a little political. I'm wagering that if the election were held today, and you had your druthers as to whom to vote for, first of all, it would be a Democrat. I kind of guess that you're not a Trump voter. But if it were a Democrat, whom would it be for you? Whom would you vote for?
You're saying to be in the Democratic primary?
Yeah, primary. That's right. If there was a primary tomorrow, and you had to vote for one of the 5 million Democrats who seem to be running for president in a year.
Yeah. Well, I did an awful lot of campaigning for Bernie in 2016, and I still know so many people who are doing that again. And I can't for quite a few reasons, but I mean, if I vote in the Democratic primary, it'll be for him. But I do think that we're always telling someone out that I just like to have some moral consistency, I not only do want to get out of that party, but I want to get away from candidates who ever, drop a bomb or launch a missile, or who talk about, the war on terror, because war is terrorism. Therefore, a war on terrorism is a contradiction in terms. I'm kind of of the mind of this gentleman named Stanley Cohen, who's this famous lawyer, and you can check him out at iStanleyCohen.org. And I've been reading and listening to him quite a bit lately, and I quite agree with a lot of what he has to say. That it just isn't good enough, and I agree. And one does become complicit. There's so much that one can do in your own life and locally, and working with people. Eventually, he says, we only have the streets, and I agree. And so, as much as I can take to the street with my disabled dog, I will. But I have great dear friends, doctors and the first woman in the construction workers union in this whole state of Minnesota. I have friends who work for the Park Service, and they're mostly all older people who have gone their whole lives yearning for health care. And I understand why they're campaigning again for Bernie. I just
Well, but are you then leaning towards, because you said that yes, you supported Bernie and you still sort of would, but you're not going to be out there on the not the gangplank, but out there with the banners and stuff for him. I mean, are you moving towards Kamala or somebody else?
Yeah, if I was going to vote, I would vote for him. I'm just not sure I'm gonna. I think if I had time, I would unregister now. I think this primary is a little bit like one more war to keep the peace. And having been political my whole life, having campaigned for Obama, knocked doors, made phone calls. I campaigned with Planned Parenthood for Kerry. I've not endorsed for smaller local candidates, great candidates like Sherry Honkala in Philadelphia, she's the real deal. I would do that again in a heartbeat. I just, the two-party system is keeping us, but it's not just the party. There are certain truths, I put that in quotes, that we accept that are untrue, and we do vote for these kind of savior figures, and it's a mistake. I think we always look for heroes outside ourselves because we don't believe in ourselves. We feel we've mucked up our own lives, but we should try to be our own hero.
Try to be our own hero. Oh my God, I don't even know what that would entail with me. I don't know.
But why do we use it? The problem with humans is apparently we are leaders, followers, right?
Yeah.
But humans have this aberrated brain. So the quote, that power is not only corrupt, but it is magnetic to the corruptible. And some of these people are incredibly slick, and we've seen it over and over again, and we think they're the real deal, and they're not. And,
well, there are people who say I'm not a real rabbi, and that makes me mad. Yeah.
Even people I like say Albert Schweitzer, we get drawn into this personality worship to an extent that we shouldn't have, and I'm very guilty of it. So I'm trying to break the cycle with myself.
Okay, fair. Now, moving to a totally different question. When the person who produces this show did another show on a radio station years ago, he would open the show with the first song on your first album, David, which, because his name is David, and did not realizing that it's actually about a real person that you had a kind of a crush on. Whatever happened to the David of David?
I don't know, but I know, he knew a lot about the history, so, I just learned a lot, I guess it's I didn't think about that. That's kind of a Hebrew name. It's kind of an ancient name.
That's right.
So maybe my next thing will be Esther or something. I don't know. It's funny you mentioned him because I was thinking of a close friend I had when I was a girl. We had the same birthday, and her name was Rachel Fleischman. I think I once went to a Hebrew school or maybe temple with her, and I was just thinking of her the other day. I don't look up people because I'm scared of what I'll find out. And also you wind up feeling a little even creepier than maybe you already are when you look up people online. It always gives me the heebies because people aren't who they are online. And sometimes I work with, celebrities and it just, you find out too much. And so then you can't honestly ask them a question like, where'd you grow up? Because you already know it. You can't say, oh, what did you do today? Because they've already been on TMZ or something. So I guess I'd try not to. I don't know, but I hope he's doing well.
Oh, good. And not to pry too much. I know you've got this wonderful life with you and your dog, but is there a person, have you been dating at all? And what?
This is such a fun show. if it gets cold enough, but truly, it's just, I don't know how anyone has the time. I think women in particular, they drive themselves nuts with that, unless they can kind of go the Patti Smith route. It's just, there's an awful lot of upkeep when you go out with someone. So, once in a while, but I'm swamped. We're doing music for this production of Much Ado About Nothing.
Wait, where, what? What, you're working on a musical of Much Ado About Nothing?
Yeah, it's a little bit 60s. Although now I've had to turn in the funeral song today, and I don't know if that's supposed to be doo-wop or what. I got to ask the director. But yeah, it's with the Hudson Valley Shakespeare Theater, and the director is Maya Drales. She's 7 months pregnant, and she dresses so fashionably, and she's reading. She's also doing Cymbeline. I don't know how she.
Good Lord!
She makes me feel like such a loser. So she's great, and so that I got to write music for. It'll open in the fall, so I got to write music now.
Wait.
Hopefully we're doing another album. So, I mean.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, that certainly belies the feeling that you said you thought you were lazy. Well, no. You're working on Much Ado About Nothing for Hudson Shakespeare. You're going to be doing, can you tell us a little bit about the show you're working on for the fall?
Oh, well, I don't think so, but I think I'll be performing in it as well as writing music. And I think it'll be in Los Angeles, and then it may come to New York, but it's not good. You know, and it's not even after you sign. Until it opens, I always think I shouldn't really say anything.
I know the feeling. You don't want to talk about something that isn't finished, that isn't. But then tell us about a show that is finished, and that sounds. I wish I had gotten to see your solo about Joan Rivers.
Oh, well, I hope we do it. We'd love to bring it back. We just did it at the Jewish Cultural Center in San Diego, and so yeah, I mean, she's you know, so many of her jokes will always endure because they're so true. And I not only saw her once when I was young in the Poconos at Mount Airy, but I saw her in New York and I met her, and she's so different off stage. I felt that she was fragile and neon. She was in this bright jacket, and my friend said that she was gentle and friendly. She's just and I always loved her book and her talking, so the show is based on that.
Wow. And yeah, I'd love to, because nobody would picture you taking on a personality like Joan Rivers. From knowing you and then seeing her all those years. And apparently you do a fabulous job, and it sounds like a wonderful show. Not to mention you did a show about a serial killer. You.
Oh, Barbara Graham, I don't even think she was a killer, but if she was, it was only one person. But,
only one.
But I don't think she did. I think that she was set up, and she was the first woman executed in a gas chamber at San Quentin, and it might have been she was the third woman. Jesus, it's been a while since I worked on that show. But you know, she's a wonderful character to play. Of course, she was played in the movie by Susan Hayward, and I Want to Live.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But to do her in this musicalized version, I have feeling for that because my own grandfather was in San Quentin, and of course now so many people know, more and more that the crooks are in power and the people in prison shouldn't be.
Well, may I ask what he was accused of, whether he was guilty or not? Your grandpa, who was in San Quentin?
I believe it was complicity in murder, but again, this is one of the things. I mean, I thought I'd go look at the records. How many times have I been to the West Coast? But he did go, and he was bounced early, but you know, he was a violent person. So he did a lot in his life he didn't go to jail for.
Oh, that's right. There was something about he mistreated your grandma. I think I read. You said that he broke her nose or something like that.
Rabbi?
Yes. Hi, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, he was an abusive fella, if I'm remembering correctly.
You said he was a violent fella?
An abusive fellow.
He just, I don't know where it came from. I don't know with people, he was in the Marines, which I think, that messes with you. It's people are saying to kill. But I don't know how much is chemical. And again, this is something I'd really like to get an oral history of my family from, and I should really start on that. But yeah, he did, terrible things, and yet he was funny, and so when you're funny, you can get away with a lot, and indeed, I mean, everyone in the Democratic primary, for instance, supports the drone program, which not only kills civilians, but who's the enemy, again in quotes. And then, sanctions. Everybody pretty much supports sanctions now, I think, except Bernie, and Bernie has supported sanctions in the past. That's the targeting of civilians, killing them by starvation or lack of medicine. Mm-hmm. I mean, these people are no better than my grandfather. These people are no better than, I've wanted to write a song about this. I mean, than the worst of those locked up. But they do it, and if anything, they're worse in terms of numbers, and they're worse because they do it clinically. They're worse because they have nicer houses and nicer cars, and they go to nicer restaurants. And, I just, and I'm complicit. I mean, I live an innocent life, and I sometimes have dairy, which is, I know what goes into dairy, so I just.
Well, wait. Milking a cow is not, the cow likes being milked.
On a family farm, there's a case for that. But what you have are factory farms,
I see, yeah.
Beer industry, you have battery hens. And if I go, if I get a little tipsy and I want a Twinkie or whatever it is, at the corner bodega, which is the one that's open all night, all I'm saying is I don't, occasionally I want to make T-shirts that say we are all Dick Cheney, because really we are. It's a matter of degree. And I know some people that live much more pious lives than me, and so I do recognize that. But I know I'm complicit, and I want to be less complicit. I want to be better personally and politically.
Wow.
And
look, there's
something to aspire to, at least.
Yeah, I'm a rabbi, and there's a bit of Hitler in me, and I should be polar opposite. But I know that I recognize some things about Hitler. I have a bigger mustache, but other than that, it's anyway. We've been going as expected all over the wonderful map with the delightful NELLIE McKAY. I want to remind everyone, please go see. I was mad at her before when she overslept and didn't call in. Now I'm in love with her. Now everybody should be in love with her, and go see her on Thursday, May 16th at Merkin Concert Hall on West 67th Street. You can find, and by the way, she'll be appearing with our friend in the neighborhood, Jane Langhart, also the cartoonist Roz Chast, Nancy Giles from TV is going to be a part of that as well. It's kind of an all-over mixed-up variety show, but NELLIE McKAY is going to do a lot in it. You can find out more about her at NELLIEMcKay.com.
Rabbi, will you be there?
Oh, I would love to. I'm going to try and make it there on that night. I might have to work. I might have to be doing a seminar. But if I am, I would absolutely love to meet you.
Oh, that sounds lovely. And if you ever want to come to a show, please just let us know. We'll put you on the list. I'd love to meet you.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Would you allow me, if I have to work, could I do brisses backstage? Would you, if I have to do a briss or two?
Brisses? What? Oh, is that different?
Yeah, I would work for tips. It's a simple. I kid. That's an old joke. NELLIEMcKay.com is the website. Remember, it's NELLIE. NELLIEMcKay.com. Also, get her CD. She's got 7 different albums out. The most recent, that is only a year old, is Sister Orchid. NELLIE, it just remains for me to say that I'm so glad that you called in. You are.
I'm so pleased, and I can't tell you what a delight this has been.
Likewise, all I can say is best of luck, best of success, more creativity, and shalom to you.
Shalom.
Bye-bye now. Oh, NELLIE McKAY. I would even call her NELLIE McKAYowitz. Let's hear a little bit of her song. David!